YouTube, what's going on? Hope you're all well. Hope your week's going fantastically. You're looking forward to Christmas. Only 2 days to go and a bit of festivities. What I've decided to do today is going to go through a 15-minute mobility program. So basically all the exercises I've demonstrated before, from the walkouts, hip mobilization into rotation, tabletops and shoulder dislocations. Actually going to do now, I'm going to put it into one full program, 15 minutes worth of mobility work, which you can do on a daily basis every other day. I just thought to myself, seeing as I'm going to do it now, I may as well get you lot doing it as well, and we can all do it together. So we're going to do 3 minutes for each mobility exercise, but probably about 10 seconds rest in between. I think it's 10 seconds I've got down there as you just go from one exercise to another. Job done. Let's start. So if you don't know how to do anything, me being me, I'll talk through it as we go, but you've got all the other videos as well to look at those individual exercises with a little bit more detail and also why you'd want to do something like that. Okay, so the first one we're going to start off with is a walkout. So legs nice and wide, but before we go into the walkout, we're just going to do what's called a pelvic tilt and stretch. And we're going to do this for 3 minutes, okay? Just follow me. If you want to know about everything, look at the other videos. Okay, so first thing you're going to do, just get the legs out nice and wide. Get the front thigh muscles working to lock the legs out. So we just want to feel a stretch along the inner thighs, and we're also going to be stretching the hip flexors in this position because the hip flexors originate on the inner thighs and they join the lower back. So we're just going to start off in this position. Now, what a lot of you will probably find is you keep doing this and I'll just carry on talking as per usual. A lot of people, when they're in this initial stretch position, the pelvis tilts forward. What I want you to do, tuck underneath. Don't bend your knees. Tuck underneath. You use your bum muscles and use your abdominals. Tuck underneath and then slowly back again. Okay, so we've got a posterior tilt and we have an anterior tilt, and you're just going to work on those. The one I want you to work more intensely with is tucking the hips and underneath. Okay, so tuck the hips and underneath. If you don't really feel much of a stretch, or if the stretch decreases, take the legs out even wider, but keep working through that tilt. The other thing that I work on is I've got one side tighter than the other side. So I want to try and open up this hip a little bit more. So once I've tucked, I hold that position and then I just rotate the hip and I'll feel a much deeper stretch here. And then you just go back. Just take it easy, take it easy, take your time with it. Well, take your time, you've got 3 minutes. I don't know what's left, but we'll just keep going. Rotate. Tilt, stretch decreases, take the legs out even longer. As you take the legs out wider, the knees will want to bend, contract the quads again, tuck underneath. You're going to need this for the next exercise. I'd normally just go into the walkouts, but I actually find that if we just get a bit of a stretch in this area, it makes the walkouts a lot easier to control and to be aware of. You can just open up, squeeze the butt cheeks. What you can do, squeeze the left one and you'll feel a much deeper stretch on the left hand side. Squeeze the right one and you'll feel a much deeper stretch on the right hand side. However tight the front muscles are, it will make it harder to contract the butt muscles. You just squeeze, tilt, stretch, breathe. Really important to breathe. If our back muscles get a little bit tight, we can lift an arm up and just rotate a little bit. Arm up and reach, reach, reach. Trying to reach down, reach up. So reach the outside of a face of a clock. I'm just making this up as I go along, basically. Doing whatever I feel necessary to stretch. Okay. That's that done. Shake that off. You've got about 5 seconds. Now we go into walkouts. Get the legs wide again. Back straight. Now, there. Try and keep the back straight. Try not to round it too much. Hands on the floor. Walk forwards. See if you can take your hands a little bit wider, or longer, I should say. Then, as we come back, elbows locked. Push your heels down. Legs locked. stand back up, and then tuck underneath. If you can do that without bending your knees, bring your feet in a tiny little bit closer. Back straight, hands on the floor, walk forwards. Push the floor away, you're getting your rib muscles working, you're getting your abdominal muscles working. Push the heels back down. If any of you do yoga, just think about a down dog position. Back up. It's giving you a really good stretch on the hamstrings and on the inner thighs. Stretching a little bit of the lats and also strengthening this area as well. Lean forwards, back straight, hands on the floor. Walk forwards. Use your rib muscles to stop you from collapsing towards the floor as you would do with a press up. See if you can take the hands out a little bit longer. Then walk back, heels down, legs locked. Stand back up again. So I've found with my broken leg, I've got really tight calves and hamstrings. So I do this quite a bit now. Just try and loosen all that stuff off. If I don't do it, I'll develop a little bit of sciatic issue. And it's just because I'm not really looking after myself. So if there's something you can do to help yourself, do it. So you don't rely on anybody else. We just keep working, strong, tuck underneath, squeeze the butt cheeks, back down, chest long, back straight, hands on the floor, walk forwards. Remember, as you walk forwards, your heels do lift up, as if you're going to go into a press-up position. Arms forward, walk the arms back, heels down, legs locked. Back up again. Remember, this is a stretch exercise with an element of strength to it. If we find out first of all it's a strength exercise, the more you do of this, the better you'll get, the stronger you'll get, and it won't be a strength exercise anymore. What I say to my clients sometimes is, today's workout is tomorrow's warm-up. So in other words, just as you get better at it, it just becomes easier. Chest long, walk forwards, push your hands into the floor, take your time with it. Challenge yourself with moving those arms forward, pull the shoulders away from the ears, walk back, hands locked, absolutely perfect. So that's walkouts. Now hip mobilization into twist. Press up position for me, please. Nice straight body. Bring any foot forward because you're going to swap sides. That's my left foot forward. Straighten the spine. Now left foot forward, left arm up. Back down. Push into the floor with the arms. Swap legs. Straighten the back. So that's right foot forward, right arm up. Back down again. So I've talked about which arm goes up, but actually the work should be through the arm which is left on the floor. So left foot forward, left arm's going to go up, but really focus on pushing the right arm into the ground. That's the actual technique I want you to be working on. Push the right arm into the ground. Swap sides. Again, just take your time with this. This isn't a speed exercise. It's kind of like a core stability, endurance exercise. So right foot forward, right arm's going to lift up, but remember, push the opposite arm into the ground. Push my left arm into the ground and rotate. Thinking about opening up the chest. So we're doing this for 3 minutes. So it basically means you're near enough doing a 3-minute plank. You're also strengthening up all those muscle groups which will help stabilize yourself as you do a press up. And because you're working on a long chest, tight back muscles, you'll be improving your posture as well. That back leg, a lot of you will probably find that the knee wants to bend because of how tight the quads are. Lock that leg out. Really work hard on contracting the quads and lock the leg out. In this particular exercise anyway. There are some variations, but this is just the way I want to do things. Push into the ground, rotate. If the hips are a little bit too high, drop them down, stretch. So try and stretch all the way through here. Right foot forward, left leg long, pushing left arm into the ground, rotate, and then use your back muscles to open up your chest muscles. So contract your back to open up your front. Keep pushing into the floor. Watch out you're not hunching your shoulders. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. So again, you're just thinking about basic posture. That's it. Certainly noticed I'm warming up, getting a bit of a sweat on. But any of you that knows me, doesn't take much. Perfect. Okay. Next one, tabletops. Again, if you don't know how to do any of these properly, I'm going to talk through this 3 minutes anyway, so it should give you enough technique. But if not, just check the video just on tabletops. Fingertips facing away from you. Don't slouch. Pull your back muscles or pull your shoulder blades down to lift the chest up. Push your feet into the ground. Lift your hips up. So push down with your arms, push down with your feet. Squeeze your shoulder blades, squeeze your butt muscles. Back down. This is a very intense stretch for the wrists, biceps and shoulders. So if any of you do feel as though this is a little bit too intense, come out anytime you want, shake the arms off, then go back into it again, okay? But you really, so because the name is a tabletop, you're really looking for the knee, shoulders and the hips to be in one alignment. Definitely don't want the hips to be lower. You can, if you want, go a little bit higher, but watch out for the tummy. Bring the tummy in. Lock the elbows, push the feet down, push the arms down. Take the head back. Take your time with it. Push down and lift up, and then strength work to squeeze a little bit more. Just try and get a little bit more out of it. Again, if we're not used to it, it is going to be hurting through these areas. We spend so much time with our arms bent, doing some typing work or anything like that. This is a real big stretch for those areas. Fingers away, lock the elbows, shoulder blades down, chest up, push down, lift up. Behind the camera, there's a mirror, so I'm in the studio, so I can actually see what's going on. And it's a really good thing if you can use mirrors, because sometimes what you feel is not always what's happening. It's what's called proprioception. And we've got to always understand where we are in space to know if our technique goes and we need to correct it. Because that's all we ever do when we train. We're just trying to maintain technique. And then we use an external force, i.e. a weight, to stress technique. So therefore we have to work even harder to maintain it. That's all we ever do. Push down, lift up, squeeze, back down. Again, anytime you need to, shake the arms off. How long have we got left? 23 seconds. Okay, come on, we can do this. Fingers back, and then just squeeze. As you get better, you can hold up for longer. You can sway gently from one arm to the other. That's it. Just stretch through. Take your time with it. Perfect. And then final exercise, final stretch, shoulder dislocations. Arms as long as possible. Elbows straight, up and back. Keep the elbows straight, up and back. If your hands are too narrow, you will not be able to do it. So you've got to get the hands really, really wide. You can use a towel, you can use a rope, a skipping rope. Now, all that work we've been doing previously about trying to control the pelvis, I want you to put it all together now. So as the arms come up, and as the arms come back, the pelvis is now going to want to tilt forwards. So use your abdominals, use your butt muscles, tuck underneath, work on that core stability, and then bring the arms back. And then abs tight as we come forward again. Arms up, back, controlled. Palms will be facing behind you. And up again. If we can do this exercise without too much worry, without too much stretch, what we can then do is, so my hands are all the way to the end of the bar. If we bring the hand in, just one finger width. Small amount, but big difference now. Arms up, arms back, and when you get to this position here, it gets really tight. So we've got to use a bit of strength now. Pull the arms back down again. My right elbow just bent a little bit, so I've got to use my tricep a little bit more now. That's it. Stretching shouldn't be relaxing. The only thing you're trying to relax on a stretch are the muscle groups you're stretching. Everything else needs to have some form of tension to hold you into position. If you completely relax, you'll be on the floor. So arms up, come back. If you do use a mirror, use that mirror just to make sure you're not over to one side or the other side. Make sure the bar's in the center. It's back, pull through. We're almost there. Almost done 15 minutes. This goes by really quickly, unless you're bored. Then it went by really slowly. Oh well, tough. Arms back, strong. There we go. And remember, if you can, like, subscribe. This one, I think a lot of you can share. There's bound to be somebody out there that needs to do just a little bit more stretching. And you can send them this. It's an amazing Christmas present. Arms back, elbows tight. And there we go. And that is my mobility drill. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a bit of a sweat on. Feel the muscles working. You'll be feeling a lot taller. Pause that. Should be feeling a lot taller. Posture will be a lot better. Those back muscles will be engaged, which opens up the chest. Enjoy. Probably see you next year. As always, if you need anything, just leave a comment and I'll see if I can do a video for you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. See you around. Bye-bye.